Here we go. We have Sara Molina,
Hey.
um, who many of you know is the mother of Tekashi 6ix9ine's daughter and has been part of the whole Tekashi story, that's played out on social media and so forth. Definitely appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You're going through a very hard time right now, with Tekashi locked up, the rest of the label locked up as well. First and foremost, how are you doing right now?
Um, I feel like I'm doing the best that I can right now at this point. I'm holding up pretty well. A lot better than a lot of people think I am, actually.
Okay. Your daughter's okay?
Of course. I'm just fortunate that she's still at a young age that she doesn't really understand what's going on. So I'm just happy that it's still normal day to day for her.
Yeah, because she's what, 3 years old now?
Yeah, she turned 3 in October.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, most times kids really don't remember a lot of stuff before
No,
5. So,
yeah. It, I mean, I try to keep it as normal and as consistent as I possibly can at this point. I don't want her to feel out of place or feel like there's anything different than what she's used to. So,
no, absolutely. Now, I want to talk about your whole story, but before we do that, I kind of want to talk about some paperwork that recently got released, which you have on your lap right now.
I do.
And this is essentially um, Tekashi 6ix9ine's transcript of his guilty plea. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have you read? Um, let me see where exactly it is here. It starts at the end of page 29 on line 24.
Page 29. Okay. The defendant's obligation under this agreement are as follows: that he shall truthfully and completely disclose all information of the activities of himself and others to the U.S. Attorney's Office, that he will cooperate fully with the New York City Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Homeland Security Investigations, and other law enforcement agencies. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
That he shall attend all meetings of the office, that he shall provide to the office upon request any document that shall truthfully testify before the grand jury or at any trial, that he shall bring the office's attention all crimes which he has committed, and that he shall commit no further crimes.
Okay, and read the next paragraph, and that'll be it.
If the defendant does this, the office, and this is detailed on pages 4 and 5 of the agreement, agrees not to prosecute the defendant for the crimes set forth in counts 1 through 9 of superseding information, as well as additional crimes that the defendant has told the government about.
I checked with a lawyer in terms of what this means. From your point of view, what do you think this means?
Um, you gotta read in between the words superseding and all of that. It's just he basically admitted to the crimes he took part of, his participation, and he is agreeing to disclose any other information as far as what happened and who was there and how it happened. And step forth, since he has done that, as long as he does not get into any further criminal activity or crime, all 9 counts are out the window. Like that's how I take it. Basically, we could read in between the lines what his agreement was.
Yeah, I mean, I had our lawyer take a look at this,
Yeah.
and essentially what she's saying, which is kind of mind blowing at this point, is that if he agrees to testify and work with various law enforcement agencies to convict everybody who he got arrested with, they're going to drop all 9 charges and not prosecute, and
Yeah.
he will walk away
But
with
his
no
hands
prison
clean.
time at all.
Yeah. He walks away. It's crazy, right?
It's pretty crazy because he was facing a minimum of 47 years for those
I
9 counts.
know. He, yeah. I just think it's unbelievable. But in a sense, not so much. For people looking outside in, it's unbelievable. But I mean, it's kind of what was expected.
Well, the most unbelievable part on this, from my point of view, was that he actually admitted in the paperwork for putting a hit out on Chief Keef's people,
I
and
mean,
he identified
yeah,
what was the guy's name?
Cuda
Cuda
B.
B.
Yeah, Cuda B.
I
And
mean, you see him in the TMZ video, basically putting this alleged hit out, and he actually cooperated and said who was the shooter, and he's now testifying against the shooter for a hit that he put out himself and getting no jail time himself,
yeah,
while the shooter is probably going
yeah,
to be
I
facing like
think that's
15 to life or
yeah,
something like
it's
that.
super fucked up. You know, Cuda B wasn't. He has a whole song named after Cuda. You know, it wasn't just someone he didn't know, like a random person who'll just do it for money. That if Cuda did do it, he did it off the strength of his relationship with my daughter's father. They were friends. You know, so that to me is pretty fucked up. You send someone to do something for you, and then when all hell breaks loose, you want to be like, oh, that person did it, even though they only did it off the strength of you asking them to.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how do you tell someone to go do something, they do it, and then you testify against them, and they go to prison, and you walk away? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I know.
You know, and honestly, like, I'm kind of just outraged right now when I'm reading this. It really
A lot of
it
people
really just
haven't
kind of
taken
mind
the time
blowing.
to read this. I fully haven't gone through this. It's just like so much. I'm like mind blown to see all the shit that's on this paperwork.
How do you feel being that you're out in the world and everybody knows who you are because he constantly would put you on video? People know who your daughter is. People know your family and so forth. When he's cooperating with the police in such a way, do you feel like your life is in danger in any way?
Absolutely, to the ignorant people, because everybody who knows us personally, anybody who personally, I'm taking it as anybody who has something personal with him knows us and knows the situation personally. So I feel like they wouldn't necessarily direct it towards me and my daughter all the way, because everybody knows he didn't really give a shit about us, you know? So it's just like they know who to do anything to if it really came down to that. But as far as me, I still take precaution. I still make sure, because you never know. There's fans who are crazy and don't know anything, who can just do something to me and my daughter. Like, I don't take any of that for granted. But I do take precautions. I post my daughter less on social media. I keep her separate from what I'm doing. And I know that I know basically not necessarily that I'm all the way good, but I know people know me and they know whatever he does, that's him, and I'm separate from that. Because he's brought me around many people who know my body and know I'm not like that. You know, when you're under pressure, you fold, and I guess that's what he's doing right now. So, as far as my family, I gotta look out for my family and make sure they're safe in all aspects, though. So, I do take precaution, but not that I'm extremely fearful. No, I know how I move and I move smart, so I
Well, I
can't
mean, if
say
he
the
does in
same.
fact get out, and I think that his sentencing, well, his next trial date, I guess, is in a year from now, which I
Yeah.
assume is after he's, uh, cooperated and everyone else has been convicted. I mean, being that he is the father of your daughter, are you going to be happy for him coming back home, or do you feel a certain type of way over how he came home, or how he
Um
would come home?
it's just on how he moves. Like at the end of the day, I have something in the long run with him. I have a daughter. So it's just like, do I necessarily respect and understand his decisions? No. But I feel at this point he's not changed as a person. So I just coming with all of that, and then I rather not have nothing to do with him until I feel like he's in the right space for our daughter. You know, at the end of the day, that's our father. I'm not gonna stop him from being a father if he wants to, but if I feel like he might bring harm to me and my daughter because of how he still moves and how he acts, I can't have that. My daughter comes first, so
Well, let's start from the very beginning. You and Daniel met in 2011,
2012.
2012. Okay. And how did you guys initially meet?
We initially meet because we had common friends. Like I had friends that were friends with him, so yeah, he just ended up messaging me over Facebook, like I had actual friends that I would hang out with and they knew him, so he was like, "Oh, you know her? I'm gonna just write to her," and that's how we started talking.
Okay. And you were how old at that time?
I was 16.
Okay. And he's what, like 15,
No,
something
he's
like that?
16. He's 16.
16. Okay. Same age. Okay. And then you guys worked at the same deli?
No, he worked there first for some years. It's after I moved in with him that I started working with him in the deli.
Okay. And were you with him when, was it his father or stepfather that got murdered?
It was his stepfather.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't with him. It was like probably 2 years before I met him that happened.
Okay. So when you met him, because I guess he dropped out of school right around that time?
No, when I met him, actually, he had a scholarship. He was being homeschooled. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. He used to play a lot of sport. He used to play soccer, and he's extremely smart. He was in a law program. Yeah, he was doing good. He just stopped because I guess he just stopped. He just stopped with the homeschooling.
Okay. So he technically dropped out of school
Yeah,
then at some point.
technically through that, yeah.
Okay. So you guys are dating, 16 years old,
hmm
and so you guys move in together at one point?
Yeah, I moved out my 18th birthday. Literally, my birthday.
Okay. So you guys move in together, and are you pregnant at this point or no?
No, I didn't
Okay.
get pregnant till like a year later.
Okay. So you guys move in at 18 years old,
Yeah.
and this is your first apartment, his first apartment, I'm assuming also, right?
Yeah, we actually lived with his mom. You know,
Oh,
he's lived there his whole life. So,
okay. So you move in with his mother.
yeah,
Okay. Was that a little uncomfortable?
very. It was very uncomfortable. We're talking about a railroad apartment. It was like 2 bedrooms, and we made the living room into a bedroom for me and him.
Okay. So you guys are living together, and is he a rapper at this point or no?
He was pursuing more clothing, but he was dipping and diving into rap.
Okay. But the Tekashi 6ix9ine name wasn't around back
Oh,
then.
yes, it was. It
Oh, it
wasn't
was.
as big. Everybody knew him from the deli because he was the kid with the outrageous clothing, the offensive clothing, because he was big into clothing. He had these crazy shirts that said HIV on them. Like, that's how he was getting attention through his style and his clothing. So then he met someone who was like, "Hey, why don't you just do music? You know, I write songs or whatever." And that's when he started pursuing the music thing.
Okay, yeah, because I remember I met someone who lived in that area and said that he remembers him from the deli, and he would be wearing like dresses and like really
Yes.
crazy stuff.
Like on some super young thug shit. Like dresses, skirts, all of that.
Okay, so how are you being his girlfriend, taking him wearing dresses and such?
um, I was young and he was my first boyfriend. Like he was my first boyfriend, first everything. So I'm like, I love him no matter what. So if he likes it, I love it. Like I was very supportive.
And was he getting the tattoos at this point?
When I moved in, he had already one tattoo, and it's the one that says scum right here. That's like in bones.
Okay. So the other tattoos started coming later.
They're coming, yeah, they're coming later. And most of them he got done behind my back. A lot of them.
Okay. So you guys are 18, living with his mother,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get pregnant about a year later.
Yeah.
Was it a planned pregnancy or no?
No. I didn't want to be with him. He knew that. He says it. Like anybody who knows this person would be like, oh, I trapped her. Like he says it on purpose. He knows that I didn't around this time, I had moved in with my parents and I was back and forth between his mom's house and my parents' house. And he was just at a point where he just wanted his career to pop so much. This is when he was doing the crazy videos with the girls, like suplexing bitches and stuff like that. Like it became too much for me. I'm like, you're lying to me. You're going to Trife Drew's basement to film with these girls. I have to see it on World Star. Like, you're like, at least give me a heads up. I have to see it with the rest of the fucking world. You know? You just like doing all these crazy things to these girls, and I'm just like here just at home watching it. I felt at that point I was feeling fed up and very disrespected, and I guess he knew that. So it was just like one of those things that just happened. Like I got pregnant.
Okay. And I mean, I'm just working out the timeline in my head right now. 18 is when he made that video with the girl who ended up being 13.
I think he was 9. He was 18 at the time, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the girl ended up being 13.
Yeah.
Those are the videos that you're talking about,
Yeah.
which included that particular
Yes,
video.
which included that, yeah.
Okay. When you saw that video, did you know that the girl was underage?
To this day, I haven't seen that video.
Okay.
That's just, it was taken down before I saw it. Like, instantly, it was taken down. I didn't even know about it until I have people calling me, family members, like, oh, you saw what he did? Like, no, I don't. To this day, I don't even know what really went down. To this day, no, up until recently when we were going to court, the day of his sentencing, whether he was gonna plead guilt, whether he was gonna get the 3 years for that case, they described what was on that video, and I had no idea. Like years later, 3 years later, I still didn't know until they fully described it in court, and I'm just like, really? Like I didn't know. I never questioned or asked about that video. I just know he got in trouble for doing another video with a girl, and he got in trouble because of the girl's age. But I didn't know what was done on that video. I never seen the video.
Okay. I mean, now that you know the girl's age was 13, how do you feel about that?
No, I knew her age before that.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't know what happened in the video. I felt bad. I felt extremely bad. I'm like, it was, at that point, it was normal for me to see him do videos with girls that are like 17, 18, around our age. The girl didn't look 13. From like the pictures and the stills of the video, because I never seen the video. I just seen the like stills of the video. She didn't look 13. And I'm just like, how the fuck this happened? Like, how's there a girl in a trap house full of niggas, and like how is that happening at like 3 o'clock in the morning? Where are her parents? Where is she coming from? How is this even possible for this to happen? Yeah. I just felt completely numb. Like I couldn't believe it when I heard her age, and me knowing the situation. Like it was 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a trap house full of dudes. I'm pretty sure they were violating her, throwing water on her and stuff like that, like from what the video describes. I'm just like, how is that even possible for that to happen? It was a little bit unbelievable to me.
So then at 18, you get pregnant.
Yep.
You're still a teenager at the time.
Yeah.
Both of you guys are teenagers. Was there ever a thought of an abortion or anything, of that sort?
No.
Why is that?
I just felt he did a lot of persuading, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, I'm gonna be there. we're gonna have a family, a lot of the sweet talk. So it was one of those things like, if this doesn't change him, if nothing changes him, maybe this will, you know? So not even like a whole week later, he got locked up because of that video with the girl.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah, so I found out I was pregnant right before he did that video.
So now you're pregnant
So
and
now
you're
I'm
keeping the
pregnant.
baby.
He's in jail. Nobody
He's in
knows I'm
jail.
pregnant. Yeah, he's in Rikers. Nobody knows I'm pregnant. And I'm so stressed. I'm like, what am I going to do? I saw his bail was at $100,000. At that age, we don't know money like that. Like, how the hell we're supposed to find, let alone $6,000 to put down to get him that? That's someone's income tax check for us, to even be able to bail him out. $6,000 took us months to get for him to even come out.
Oh, so you actually got the bail money together?
Yeah, his brother, his friends, all over. Like, people were chipping in to get him out. So I'm going by all these months, back and forth between Rikers, seeing him pregnant, and nobody knows I'm pregnant. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell no friends. I was scared. Like, I didn't want to feel the judgment, like, oh, what do you look like having a baby and he's in jail and might not get out? So until we got the bail, that's when I told everybody when he was out that I was pregnant. I was maybe like 4.5 months, 4.5 months, yeah, pregnant.
Okay. Well, he also got arrested for, I guess, drug dealing to an undercover cop.
Yeah.
Was that before or after the
That was
whole videotape
before.
situation?
That was before the baby. That was before the video situation that he got locked up for that. It was like one of those, he did it like maybe a few times. I think he did it a few times. He maybe did it like three, 4 times. It wasn't he got caught because it wasn't something that he was doing, He didn't know how to do it.
Okay, and did he get any jail time over that or no?
No, it didn't. I forgot what happened. I think it got dismissed.
Okay. So here you are, pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Tekashi's in Rikers. He finally gets out before the baby is born.
Yeah, I was 4.5 months when he got out.
And okay, so now you guys are together.
Barely.
And barely.
Yeah, he came out of jail and was just wilding.
Okay.
Yeah, he fed me sweet things while he was in jail. Went to go see him whenever I could, which was all the time. I would do that pregnant. And yeah, when he came out of jail, it was just like a whole bunch of like empty promises. It was different. So throughout most of my pregnancy, I didn't really deal with him at all. He like kind of checked out, but he'll like keep tabs on me like every other month.
Okay, so you have the baby, but he's not living with you or really being part of
like
you
president
your,
of my pregnancy. No, it was like after I had my baby that he was trying to step up and stepping in. He got a little restaurant job, for like about 6 months, and then he quit his restaurant job and was like, I'm not gonna work no more.
Okay, and is that when the face tattoos started coming and everything else like that?
No, he already had face tattoos.
Aha.
He didn't have the big 6ix9ine, but I think he had the spider webs already. He had the spider webs, yeah.
Okay. How did you feel about all the face tattoos and everything?
I cried. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that jigsaw tattoo, the big 6ix9ine didn't bother me because he had them already all over his body. But when I saw that damn jigsaw, I cried for like 2 weeks straight. I'm like, I couldn't even look at him. I was like, why did you do that? Like, what the hell was the point of that?
Okay, and what was the point of that, according to him?
I don't even think he had a point for it. Just clout. Like,
Okay.
Nothing bothered me more than that jigsaw tattoo and the big 6ix9ine tattoo on his chest. Mm, The big 6ix9ine tattoo did it for me on his chest. That was the first tattoo I cried about. And then the fucking jigsaw. Um, my issue with the big 6ix9ine, I was like, it looks like a fucking jersey number on your chest. Why did you get it so big? Like, I didn't understand it. But pretty much every tattoo that I didn't find out about the jigsaw tattoo until after it was done.
Okay. And why the name Tekashi 6ix9ine? What was his reason for that?
Um, Honestly, it starts back with the clothing. He had a clothing line that him and his best friend at the time, it was like 6ix9ine Scum Cartel, right? So that's where the 6ix9ine comes into place. But Tekashi is a funny story. Um, he went through like 4 different rap names. It was like Walla Dan, like weird shit. And the guy who was writing music for him at the time, he was a tattoo artist, and he had a roommate who came from Japan, I think. And his name was Tekashi, but it was spelled with an A. And I guess he liked that name, and he was like, "Yo, would you mind if I use this as my rap name?" He was like, "Yeah, but just spell it different." And that's how he spelled it, with the E. And he just added the 6ix9ine.
Okay. At what point did the Nine Trey guys start to come around and he started associating with all these guys?
Honestly, they from one day to the next, like literally. At this point, he I didn't even realize how much shit he was doing behind my back until recently. So, I think it started with his old manager. His old manager was managing someone who was blood, like Nine Trey. And I guess through mutual management, that's how he ended up messing with those dudes.
Okay. Before then, has he ever claimed blood or gangs or anything else like that?
No, he was cool with some Crip dudes, but not that he was claiming it. That's one thing. He was never really gang banging before he met the people he met. He wasn't really
Okay.
selling no drugs. He wasn't, that's just not what he was doing.
Okay. So how did you feel when out of the blue suddenly he's got red rags and he's saying blood and he's waving it around and everything else like that?
Um, it made me question. I had to ask him, I'm like, yo, you blood? Like, is this what you doing now? Like, I just want to know out of curiosity, because he was going so hard with it. Um, but he told me he wasn't, and I guess it was just for fashion. I guess like these are the dudes that he's rolling with. They're holding him down, so I guess he's representing. I don't know. Like, that's how I saw it.
Okay. Did you feel that this is potentially dangerous long term to be associating with that type of thing?
No, it's actually pretty normal. You see dudes walking down the street flagging all the time, you know?
Mm.
So it's just like, at least where I'm from and where I see it, like, is things like that are for fashion. Anybody's blood at this point. Anybody can fucking gangbang at this point. That's how I see it, especially if they were letting him do it.
He's getting these tattoos. He's wearing red rags, and he's trying to get his hip hop career, you know, off the ground. At what point did the music really start to pop, and it really looked like, okay, this is really starting to happen now?
I saw it really popping, I think maybe after he did that song with Trippy. Like, I was like, oh, he was doing numbers before, but I was like, not numbers like this. And before that, mind you, before that, he already went on a little tour in Slovakia. So I didn't think, even then, I didn't think the music popped as much as I did after he did that song with Trippy.
Okay, you're talking about Pole's
Yeah,
1469.
yeah.
Right. I'm looking at that video now. Video right now. It's got 130, like almost 140 million views.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, how did Tekashi and Trippie Redd link up?
Um, I think it was through Instagram, but I think it was more along the lines where I think Trippie said something to him about that gang shit, you know? So yeah, I think that's what happened. That they ended up talking.
Okay. So they do that video together, and the video blows up. And I'll be honest, like before all the Trippie Redd stuff, I never even heard his name.
See?
But then that video comes out, and then they start to beef. And I remember the first, because we were already covering Trippie because he was already popping. And so when Trippie starts talking about this Tekashi kid and he's beefing with him, that's when we started covering Tekashi.
Yeah.
What was that beef over?
Honestly, I can say the guy that was writing for Danny, he cut his ties with Danny. And I guess he told Trippie about Danny's case or whatever. Just, out of spite, like, oh, fuck that, now I'm gonna ruin something for you type shit. And I think Trippie didn't fuck with that. Like, just hearing those allegations, and he ran with it rather than coming to Danny and be like, I heard this. Is this true? He just put it out there on the internet and was like, oh, you're a pedophile, you're this, you're that.
Okay. So then the two of them started going back and forth. And I guess like something happened where Trippie got jumped around Tekashi or something like that.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
So I think he got punched in the mouth or something.
Yeah.
But he never said Danny did it. He said...
Yeah.
Yeah, he said one of his people did it.
Yeah. So then Gumo comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. He takes off.
Yeah, he skyrockets. So
what is your relationship with Tekashi at this point after Gumo drops and it blows up?
We're together. We've always, besides my pregnancy, we've always been together. My pregnancy was more me not being with him because I didn't want to put myself through that stress, especially being pregnant. I knew it was better if I just, not be after him the way he's always used to me doing. So, I mean, me and him were together.
Okay, are you guys actually living together?
No, we weren't living together. I was living with my parents, with my daughter.
Okay. But now the money's starting to come in after that. Now, like the show money's, the money's not coming in yet?
I didn't see no show money. I mean, I would have to call him. Like, he told me, this is it. Like, this is my song. This is what's going on. It was looking up for him, so he told me, you don't have to work. I was working in Goldman Sachs. I was working in a private cafe as a barista. So he told me he had me. So, I just stopped working. And basically, I'm like, I'm not working. I would have to tell him, like, I'm not working. The baby needs Pampers. I need this. Like, I would have to let him know when I needed money. And he would, like, break me off, like, $300 a week, which was, like, the same as a paycheck of me working, So I didn't really see no show money at that time.
Okay. But he was seeing a lot of show money.
Yeah,
he
apparently.
Was seeing show money.
He was seeing show money, a lot of money.
Streaming money.
I didn't know how all of that worked either,
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe he's not... I was hearing things like, oh, they're not paying me that much for shows because I'm new and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess your career needs to build up a little more for you to get paid more. I didn't know how this music thing worked. So I'm just going based off of whatever he was telling me.
So his career is building up and he starts to basically beef with everybody. He starts to troll and beef with guys in Houston, guys in LA, guys in Chicago. Like, it's just, there's a long laundry list of people that he's telling to suck his dick and everything else like
Yeah.
that. How are you taking all this? Because along with the trolling, things are happening. Like, shows are getting canceled. There's incidents that are happening along the way.
Yeah.
Like, how are you taking all this during this time?
I was just taking it as Danny being Danny. Everybody who knows him knows how arrogant he is. And I figured that was just why he was getting into so many problems, him being arrogant. And then not only that, it was like that times 1,000 because he had this new group of people who would do whatever for him, you know? Like, he know he had people to back him up. So that's why he was just going off at the mouth because he wasn't doing most of the fighting. He wasn't doing none of that.
A lot of times when when you start getting money and power and so forth, and you have these people around you that are willing to do violent things on your behalf, it's very hard not to get enticed by that, to
It
be
was like a
mature.
big ego boost for him. His ego was boosted through the roof.
Okay. Well, as he's trolling, like, for example, with the Chief Keef situation, he starts making videos with Chief Keef's baby mother and so forth. When those videos came out, how did you feel?
Disrespected. I felt disrespected. I felt embarrassed. But those were, at that point in time in that relationship, a normal thing. Like, look at him doing something else again. It's just, now I have to go on Instagram or online and defend myself, Because I have people bashing me like, oh, how could you stay with him, this and that third. It was just, I took my anger out on the wrong things and on the wrong people. Because I loved him. That's what it was.
Well, he was in LA. I mean, the trolling is happening, the rappers are going back and forth, and social media is doing its thing. But then the situation happened in LA where he was doing the video with Kanye and Nicki, and then the house got shot up.
Yeah. I mean,
did that shake you up at that point?
yeah, that did scare me. That definitely scared me because now it's not. It shook me up, but I already went through something that shook me up way more, which was when he got robbed.
Right. That actually happened before.
Yeah, that
Right.
happened before. So I already been through somewhat of a traumatic experience with him. Like, as far as like really him being hurt or in a situation that could be life or death. Yeah. That was
Okay.
scary.
So let's talk about that situation. So he was, I guess, at a video shoot, and he's heading back home, and he gets kidnapped, essentially.
No.
No?
No, he had just came back home that same day. He wasn't even home for more than 24 hours, more than 15 hours. He came back from LA and he had came back with that new pony piece that he had. And he was in the house for like maybe 2 hours, left, was gone the whole day. Came back around like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I was up. My daughter was sleeping. His mom was in the house. And he was releasing Fifi the next day. He was on the laptop with the driver in the house, and he was like, I need to leave. I'm going to Trife Drew's house so he can color correct the video for me. And so I'm like, all right, that's nothing out of the ordinary. He'll break night editing a video, just so he can push it the next day. Like, so I'm like, at this point, I'm mad at him. So I'm not, he was in LA with some other girl. So I'm like, not really paying him mind. I'm like, whatever, leave. I don't care. And no more than like 20 minutes later, I got a call from him. I'm like, I was about to head in the shower. And he's like, oh, Sara, where's the baby? And I found that very odd. Like, what do you mean, where's the baby? She's home. She's sleeping. You were just here. Like, you know that. So that immediately was like, what? Why are you asking about the baby? He was like, don't say nothing. Don't, just do everything I tell you to do. So I'm like, what's going on? He was like, I want you to take the jewelry that I have downstairs on the table and wrap it the way I wrap it and put it in the bag and bring it down to me. I'm like, what's going on? He was like, don't ask me no questions. Please just do everything I tell you to do. So at this point, I'm not thinking that he's in any danger. I'm thinking that he did something or got caught up in something that he has to grab his jewelry and be out. So I take the jewelry, I wrap it up. I'm in a towel, mind you. And I go downstairs and I call him. I'm like, I'm downstairs. Where are you? And he was like, I'm pulling up right now. He hangs up the phone on me. So a car pulls up to in front of our building that I don't recognize. Is not the driver's car. So I'm just looking. And a dude with a hoodie on comes running up the steps and is in front of me. So I'm just like looking in the car and I back up behind the door and I'm just looking at this dude like, who the fuck are you? And I guess they saw that I wasn't giving the bag of jewelry to the dude. So they lowered down the window just enough so he can yell to me and like, Sarah, give the bag to him. So I'm like, all right, I heard his voice. I saw a little bit of his hair. He's telling me to give the bag to him. I'm going to give the bag to him. So I give the bag of jewelry to the dude. He goes, runs in the passenger seat, and the car burns rubber and skirts off. So I'm like, what the fuck? So after that, I lock the doors, I run upstairs, and I'm calling him. Because that just like, I want to know what he did. I'm like, yo, what did he get into? He did some shit. That's what's running through my mind. Because at this point, he's gotten away with so much. All the shit talking. Like, never in my mind am I thinking that someone actually caught him. You know? So I'm like, this nigga got into some shit. Like, I just want to know what it is. And I want to know if he's okay or what he's going to do if he's leaving. So I'm calling, nothing, like nobody's getting through to me. I'm calling his brother. His brother comes to the house. I'm like, yo, like, your brother got into some shit. I don't know what's going on. He's like, don't worry, I'm going to try calling him. I'm calling everybody. I'm calling the driver, and the driver is not picking up his phone. The driver who he left with. So I'm like, what the fuck? I FaceTime. I'm in between FaceTiming and calling him because I want to see him. He picks up a FaceTime call, and he's in a car, like in the back seat, and I see his eye bloody, and his face is so swollen, and I'm crying. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And someone in a car was like, oh, you want us to take you back home? And he's like, no, don't take me back home. They're trying to kill me. So I'm crying. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he hangs up the phone on me. So I call his brother back because his brother just came in to check on us because I was blowing his brother up like, yo, something's going on with your brother. Call him. Can you come here? I'm like, yo, your brother just FaceTime. I FaceTime your brother, and he picked up, and his eye is full of blood. He has a gash. Like, something's happening to him. He's talking about people killing him. And his brother comes to the house, and he's just like, oh, I'm calling everybody at this point. So I spoke to the driver. The driver ended up coming back to the house, and he told me that they had got robbed. And I'm like, how? He was like, that day it was raining. So he was like, oh, a car. We was like a few blocks away from the house. I don't even think they got that far. And a car rammed into the bumper of the car. So the driver got out. He was like, it's fine. Don't worry. Like, we don't want no money. We're just going to keep it pushing. No, he didn't care that the car got hit. He just figured because of the weather, it was raining and stuff like that. That's what the driver told me. And the guy was like, one of the guys stepped out and was like, this got nothing to do with you. So just move to the side. And the driver's like, oh, no, but it's fine. Like, we don't care about the car. It's fine. And then someone else came out the car. And Danny said he saw him through the side mirror just running up. And he froze, he said, and he didn't think to lock the door. So they pulled him out the car and they was looking for his jewelry. And Danny didn't have the jewelry on him. He left it in the house. So they pistol whipped Danny, took the driver's phone, and threw him in the car. This is what the driver's telling me. So that's why the driver wasn't picking up my phone calls or anything, and that's how they ended up coming back to the house. I didn't know any of what happened until I saw the Breakfast Club interview, because as soon as I spoke to the cops, like they came and I gave my statement or whatever, because I heard he went to a precinct after that happened to him. He went to a precinct and then they took him to Kings County Hospital. And Danny told me over the phone that he's not pressing charges or whatever. So I was like, so what do I tell these cops? They was like, just tell them what happened, that you just gave the jewelry and that you saw me. You heard me through a car say what happened. So that's what I did. And that day, I didn't even get to see Danny. I didn't see Danny for like maybe 2 weeks because he made sure that me and my daughter was outside, like out the house. We went upstate, I think, for like a whole week.
And ultimately, he never got that jewelry back.
No, he never got that jewelry back.
And they never caught the guys who did it.
Supposedly now on the new indictment, they said that they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of the dudes is there for robbing Danny, I think.
Okay, now you did an interview with the Daily Beast, and you talked about that throughout your relationship there was a lot of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Like, at what point in the relationship did the abuse first start?
It happened very early on in our relationship, like maybe a month after I moved in with him. That was the first time he put his hands on me. And I didn't know how to take that. Like, I've never had a guy put their hands on me. This is my first boyfriend. You know, I didn't know how to handle that situation.
Okay. And you said that as the relationship progressed, the abuse
got worse,
continued and got worse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. What were some of the worst incidents that actually happened?
One incident was me and him was arguing. We was walking towards Marcy and by the factories. He wanted me to take pictures of him. He had just bought a new camera. He wanted me to take pictures of him, his clothes or whatever. And I had forgot we walked all the way to Marcy, and I had forgot the battery that I left in the wall charging. So there was a camera, no battery. So he was really pissed that we had to walk all the way back, you know? So he had left me. He sped walked like so fast and left me like walking by myself. So when we got in the house initially, he was just talking a whole lot of shit like, oh, you're dumb. Like, how you gonna leave it? Like, I forgot because you was rushing me out the house, you know? So I said something. I was like, I think I told him shut the fuck up or something. And I threw the camera on the bed. And he didn't like the fact that I threw the camera on the bed. He had just got it, even though it was on the bed. And I think he punched me. Yeah, he punched me in my eye. Like, he punched me in my face. And it was like, I think I was trying to scuffle with him, but he punched me repeatedly, and I had like 2 black eyes. And he left as soon as he did it. So I half fell asleep. And when he came back home, I guess I was sleeping. He saw my face and saw that I had like 2 black eyes. And I guess he woke me up and was like, I'm sorry, you know. He started crying. He was like, I swear on my father's grave, I'll never touch you again. But it didn't last. Yeah. And then another time was on our way back. We had just came back from St. Thomas, me, him, and my daughter. And as soon as we landed, We flew straight out to one of his shows. I think it was a show in Connecticut or Jersey. I'm not too sure. Like, I don't remember. And on our way back from the show, me and him got into a fight. Like, he punched me and was beating me in front of my daughter in the car.
Okay. I mean, you're getting beat up in front of your daughter.
Yeah. That was the first time it happened.
I mean, for a lot of women, that's a wake-up call to leave. But you actually didn't leave.
Yeah.
But why is that?
I don't know. In a way, I felt stuck. I'm not going to lie, I kind of felt numb to this situation. Because he was already doing it. It was just alarming that he did it for the first time in front of my daughter. And the extent of how he beat me in front of my daughter. It would have been one thing if he would have just smacked me or gave me one punch, but he was like going at it, you know? And at that time I wasn't living with him.
Did you ever see him fight a man?
No.
So
I seen him try to fight for the first time ever in my life. At the airport. When they caught that
airport video, yeah.
And mind you, I've been with him 7 years. I've never seen him fight a dude until that incident, that it was caught on camera.
Okay. So you're saying he only really fought women?
I mean, he only put his hands on me. Like, other than that, I don't know what he's done to other people. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of videos that came out. One of them, you were on IG Live.
Yeah.
And someone said, Tekashi should smack you. And you said...
Tekashi should slap you. I will pay that nigga to fucking slap me, and he still won't do it. It's the other way around.
Oh, yeah. That was me covering up for him. I protected a lot of his image. You know, in a way, that's what a lot of women do. They lie about it. You know, they protect the person. They protect their abusers. Like, it happens. I was in a space where that was happening to me, and I guess I was in denial about it too, as well.
Okay. There's another video of you actually on top of him. And I guess there was like a caption said that you weigh like 45 pounds more than him and something like that.
I do weigh more than him. I do. And that was a way of me, like, feeling like I had some power in that caption. Like, you know, but that was just me catching him, like tripping up his leg, you know? But that was just me defending him, me protecting him, his image. You know, a lot of things I did for him was out of love. You know, I was embarrassed. I didn't want nobody to know I was getting beat.
I mean, did you ever punch him in the face?
Oh, I actually did.
You did?
Yeah, I have. I did one time. I fought back one time, and I ended up giving him a good knock.
Well, you guys are going through this together.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's other women that are involved.
Tons.
You know, apart from what you saw, you know, with Chief Keef's baby mother, there is, I guess, he admitted to you that he had sex with like 70 different women?
Over 70.
Over 70.
Yeah.
I guess he admitted to you that he caused some STDs?
He called, like, not STIs, but that was just, I guess, the daily beast messing up. He called fucking, like, chlamydia and stuff like that. But I would find out he was catching these things. I already knew, you know? It's just he never admitted it to me. He admitted it to me recently, like a few months ago. But when he was catching those things, it was, like, in May. You know, I would find, like, little pill bottles. He would have fucking mail from the hospital sent to the house. I'm like, when did you go to the emergency room? When did you go here? Like, you never told me you went to the doctor. And he'd be like, oh, miasma. Like, no.
Okay. Did you ever catch anything from him?
No.
Okay. Were you guys?
Yeah, it was.
Were you guys still having sex at that time or no?
Actually, no. When I found out he was catching things, actually wasn't having sex with him. I would go months without having sex with him. That's
Okay.
how bad it was. Like, I didn't let him come near me with a 10-foot pole.
Okay. And I guess he ended up getting other women pregnant, allegedly.
Yeah, a few.
Okay. Is that confirmed? Does he really have children with other women, or is that just still up in the air?
There's only one child present, and the DNA isn't in yet, but I believe that's his child. I was in denial about it for so long, for a very long time. You know, nobody wants to hear that. You know, like someone I've been with for so long stepping out and just having a whole child. Having children is a serious thing. You just don't go spreading your seed everywhere like an animal. That's ridiculous. And I was in denial about it for so long. I didn't want to believe that he can do that to me. Like, step out on me with a girl that he probably doesn't even know her last name or know her favorite color or hasn't known her for more than a year, and you're just having a kid with her. Like, it just baffled me. It was just unbelievable, and I was in denial, and I was hurt about it for so long. But that can be his kid, and he admitted that to me.
Okay. So you guys go to, well, he's already in Dubai and you ended up meeting him out there, right?
Yeah.
And I guess when you're out there in Dubai, he accuses you of some sort of relationship with Shotti?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Is there any truth in that at all?
No, that's ridiculous. The thing that I find so funny now is that Dubai happened in October, right? He had these accusations in October. So this isn't nothing new that he's already felt. And when he beat my ass in Dubai, he's basically after 2 hours told me, I know you didn't do nothing, but I can't have you out here making me look stupid. So he just beat my ass, not because he believed it, but because I made him look stupid because of what other people were saying.
Okay. And how badly did he beat you?
Extremely bad. I've never had nobody ever touch me like that, ever. He's never touched me like that. It was just, it was just horrible. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my own enemy, to be touched as a female like that at the hands of a man. Like, he was throwing chairs on me. He was kicking me in my chin, kicking me in my face. He punched me so hard in my left ear I couldn't hear for like almost the rest of that whole trip. Is just, I had 2 black eyes, could barely open them. It was so bad. I had black and blues all over my body.
Well,
Just because I made him look stupid.
Well, I guess you said that he raped you also?
After that, he didn't let me leave the room. So I had fell asleep, and the following morning he woke up and forced me to have sex with him, yeah.
So after that trip, I guess you and your daughter ended up leaving the house?
No, we left that house before that trip.
You left the house before the trip?
Yeah.
Because at one point, the feds raided the house.
Yeah, they raided the house, but I wasn't there. He actually kicked me out the house with my daughter.
Okay.
Before
He
that
kicked
even
you
happened.
out of the house?
Yeah. That before that happened, he kicked me out the crib with my daughter.
Okay, and that was the crib that he was paying for?
Yeah, he was renting it. He had us living literally in Crown Heights. We lived in the hood. There was people who would come outside of my house and scream Treyway, you know? Like, everybody knew we lived there. Everybody.
Okay. So you're already out of the house, and I guess you're living in like motel rooms?
I had to go to a hotel because I was too scared to tell my mom or anybody that he kicked me out. So I stayed in a hotel for like maybe 5 days, 4 days, 5. And so I told my mom, this is what happened. And then she was like, it's fine. She just wanted me out the house. She wanted me out the house, and she went with me and the driver and got all my stuff out. And like, I think I moved out on a Sunday, and the house got raided, I think, on a Friday or Saturday. So I was
Okay.
I was out the house for like 5 days already.
Okay. How did you react when you found out the feds raided your house?
I thought it was unbelievable. I was like, wow. They're raiding the house for what? Like, what reason is there to raid the house? First of all, the only ones that were in that house were me and my daughter. He was never home. And when he was, it was like, wasn't that long. So I was just confused. It was a lot of confusion.
Okay. And I guess the raid, they found an assault rifle and a backpack that was tied to an armed robbery.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, can you even picture something like that? Like, just being it. I don't know where they found that in the house. That's crazy. That's something you go to war with. Where is the need for a fucking... I can understand a little pistol or something, but a fucking assault rifle?
Okay.
It's just uneasy. It's like an uneasy feeling to me, because me and my daughter was in that house. And just
Yeah.
knowing that, like, finding out now that shit was there.
Right. Because then, I'm trying to remember the timeline. I don't remember if it was before or after that, but he ended up going to court, beating, not beating his case, but not getting any prison time for his case. And then right afterwards, a shooting happened at Philippe Chow's.
Yeah. We
Okay.
were all there that day.
Oh, you were there.
I was there, yeah. I was there.
Okay.
It was me. It was his mom, his brother's girlfriend, Shotti, Crippy, a few other dudes too. Alexis Sky was there as well, because she was with Shotti. And we were just like driving around for an hour trying to figure out where we was going to eat. And we pulled, I think the car that Shotti was in first, pulled up to Philippe Chow's first. And there was a lot of traffic that day too, so we're just like down the block. So when we finally get in front of the restaurant, Shotti pulls Alexis Sky out the car and just tells the driver to take us straight, like, to just take us home. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? And we don't even make it down the block, and we hear 2 gunshots go off.
Okay. So this is the first time you're actually around gunshots.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of, connected
Yeah.
to all this.
And Danny wasn't in the car with us. So at this point, his mom is hysterical in the car. We're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. We don't know what's going on. We know that we heard gunshots. They're sending us that Danny told Shotti to take us straight home. So we're like, why Danny's sending us home? What's going on? We heard the gunshots. It was just too much for one day. And mind you, my daughter's birthday was literally 2 hours after that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Okay. So all this shit is happening. There's an FBI raid. There's a shooting, that happened at Philippe's. And then, Tekashi goes on the Breakfast Club and said that he's over, he doesn't mess with Shotti anymore, and he's his own management and everything else like that.
Yeah. I think part of I think he was trying to disassociate himself with Shotti for a long time. And part of doing that was just doing it with everybody. Like, starting clean. Like, as far as the booking agency, everything like that. And Shotti, the whole Treyway thing. He just wanted to disassociate himself. I think he was over all the shit that he was getting himself into. And he was just looking for a reason to do it. Do I think anybody stole money from him? No. I've seen
Really?
I've seen him blow through money, and not even think twice. He basically was renting us out an apartment in the hood, but had fucking 3 houses on his neck, I mean, he does, as far as his business, I've seen him assign roles to people all the time. The fucking driver at one point was his assistant, his driver, everything, because he doesn't want to pay people for their jobs. He just throws everything on everybody. He doesn't his business was never organized. He had a booking agent, a manager. He had Shotti, his manager. He had security booking him flights. Just weird shit going on. Anybody who's been around can attest to the fact that his business and everything was so disorganized. It was so fucked up.
Well, right after he disassociated himself with Shotti and the other guys, then the feds came in and scooped up everybody.
Yeah. It was like from one day to the next.
Yeah. When you heard about that, how did you react?
I don't want to say I couldn't believe it, because I felt like, in a way, with how everybody was going, it was going to boil down to this. Like, there was just too much bullshit. So, I mean, not that I couldn't see this from a mile away, but it's just like it actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's still an open case right now.
Yeah.
At one point, before he got locked up, he got another girlfriend. I guess Jade.
He got who pregnant?
Well, no, he didn't get her pregnant. He got another girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, he got another girlfriend.
Yeah, he got another girlfriend.
Yeah.
I guess her name is Jade.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess she got the 6ix9ine tattoo on her shoulder after like a week or two.
Yeah.
And, I guess he gave her a G-Wagon, and, there's the picture of her visiting him, in the jail facility.
Yeah.
I guess you cried when you saw the picture of them together.
No, that's the way the media twisted it out.
Twisted
I swear.
that part too. Okay.
I've seen Danny with many women caught on camera. I've witnessed him fucking grope Chief Keef's baby mama's titty. Like, I seen a picture of him hugging up on a girl. Didn't make me cry. It didn't. I've seen videos on his phone of him fucking bitches. That didn't bother me. That didn't strike a nerve with me. What struck a nerve with me was basically the way he's doing things. He basically put that picture out the day of a meet and greet I did. He, in a way, I kind of feel bad for Shorty. He's going to be with her. Yeah, that's what it is. But he's using her. He's using her to stay relevant the same way he's using other people.
Okay. And I guess
at the end of the day, she's attachment to him. So yeah. Whatever clout she has is automatically going to be 6ix9ine's girlfriend, So the more she does, the more he stays relevant.
Right. I mean, I guess he had gotten her a Rolex watch at one point. Then there was a Mercedes G-Wagon. But you've said that he hasn't sent any money to you or your daughter.
No, I haven't got a phone call. I haven't got a phone call at all. He doesn't even have to call me. My mom's had the same number for like over 10 years. He knows it by heart. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. But at least check on the baby. Like, this is your daughter. There's no doubt about it. So for you not to send out a call, the thing with the money that people want to throw out there, Like, oh, he gave you I'm hearing different numbers thrown out there every day. He gave you $300,000. He gave you $250,000. He didn't give me that. He gave me something to keep my mouth shut. Cause the day that he had punched me in my mouth, which are the pictures that are circulating the internet now. The day he punched me in my mouth, he busted my lip and bruised the whole side of my face. That was my last straw. I had left the house that he got. And I left the house and I called my mom and I told my mom I wanted to press charges. I wanted to call the cops. That was it. Especially after I'm finding out you're cheating on me, you're having a baby, like all these things doesn't justify you putting your hands on me. And I was just over it. I was very tired. I was very fed up and I wanted to press charges. And he was calling me, throwing out these numbers like, oh, I'm sorry. He basically, that was hush money. He gave me money. He gave me less than what he spent on his girlfriend's fucking Jeep, if you want to be honest.
Okay, so he gave you what, like 5 digits? Something like that.
More or less, he didn't give me nearly as much as what he has. Like, and at this point, that's all I have for me and my daughter. You know? It just doesn't make sense. What he gave me and my daughter, what he gave me to keep my mouth shut is now something I have to use for me and my daughter. And it's not nearly as much as he spent in jewelry or what he's wasted on his new girlfriend. You know? That's money me and my daughter have to live off of. Or stretch out. That's money I have to stretch out for me and my daughter. My daughter doesn't, he's never put money away for my daughter. It's crazy.
I mean, technically, you could take him to court for child support and attach, his royalties, his streaming numbers and stuff like that. Is that something that you're looking to do, or you're just letting it fly at this point? Yeah, I mean, he'll show up to court. I mean, he's locked up right now, so.
I have looked into doing it. I'm just so tired of the stigma. Like, people are like, oh, you're clout chasing, you just want money. No, I feel like my daughter's entitled to have a good life. And now, not only am I watching you give it to a random person, you're giving it to her daughter too as well. Like, literally, his girlfriend's daughter is the same age as our daughter.
Mm.
My daughter doesn't need $1,000 in gifts, in Christmas gifts or anything like that. She needs a present father and she needs stability. And if you can't provide neither one of those things and you're going to be wish-washy and just come and bring a whole lot of bullshit into our life, I'd rather you just stay where you're at. Stay with what you're doing. Regardless to what, me and my daughter is always going to be good. I have family behind me. I got God. And that's not what I'm into at this point in my life. I'm not into the bullshit no more.
Well, after he got locked up, a video surfaced where he's arguing with Tato, Chief Keef's cousin.
Yeah.
And, they're going back and forth. And then he puts the phone down. And as the cameras are rolling, he goes, oh, I got a 30-pack for that. Which a lot of people took that as, oh, he just put a hit on somebody.
I mean,
but, it's still a little gray area. You don't really know what's going to happen. But then lo and behold, some time later, he actually IDs the person who he's giving the allegedly gave the money to, and the guy's name was
Cuda.
Cuda, right? And then Cuda ends up, I guess, doing the shooting. I guess he shot up in the air, and Tekashi's actually cooperating and said the name.
I just think that's so fucking whack.
Right. I think
that
Cuda's
was
out on
his
bail
friend.
right now,
That was,
right?
you know, I just, the only reason I feel Cuda would have did it was off the strength of his relationship with Danny. I don't even think it was just more the money. You know, he has a whole song named after him. I've seen Cuda's been in the house that got raided. You know, he's been around. So it's just like you told him to do something and he did it out of love for you, and now you're snitching on him.
Well, I mean, along with Cuda, if you look at the paperwork, he's agreeing to tell on everybody, to tell on Shotti. Who are the other guys who got arrested?
I've never met two of them. It's Shotti, Crippy, Harv, Mel Murda,
Right.
and Ish, and some random dude that I've never even heard his name. At least these guys, I heard their name, even if I didn't meet them. Is some guy named Fubanga. Like, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of all those, which of those do you actually know and had, you know, I mean, I don't want to say relationship because it's going to be taken out of context, but who did you know that you were friendly with
Personally,
and so forth?
yeah, I knew Crippy and Shotti.
Okay. How do you feel about Tekashi testifying against Crippy and Shotti?
I just think it's an ugly situation. I think it's sad and very unfortunate. These are people that he's had around us, around my daughter, every day, day to day. You know? And I just think that's what the feds will do to you. Like, they'll have you fold. They'll have you turn into something ugly, even though he was already down that path. You know? It's just, I just think the whole situation is sad and unfortunate.
You know, the way the courts, well, the way his defense is trying to paint this as, you know, Tekashi was a good kid and he was manipulated and, you know, puppeteered. You know, he was, you know, brainwashed by these gangsters.
Than him. Just because these men are older than him. Let me tell you something. If there's one thing about Danny, he's very fucking smart. No matter all the dumb shit he does, he finds a way out of it. And that's what he's going to do with this. I can honestly say I don't feel bad for him because he's going to find a way to walk on, what he's doing now, walk right on out. He's going to come out, probably do like maybe 2 years. If he gets any time, he's going to get time served or get probation or house arrest. After that, he's going to go on a European tour. He's gonna bank off of that. Because realistically, after that, nobody's going to really want to mess with him as far as the hood, the streets. But that doesn't matter to him. You know, it's usually these European white kids who don't know shit about the street, who he makes his money off of. You know, he's going to be good regardless.
Yeah, I mean, we did a poll, you know, on my Twitter page, and I said, can Tekashi 6ix9ine come back as a major rap star after snitching? And 76% of people said no, but I don't actually believe that. You know, I mean, I feel that because being a pedophile did not stop him from being a rap star. A convicted pedophile at that did not stop him from being a rap star. You know, telling on everybody around you, is that going to stop you in 2019, 2020? I don't know.
No, he's just going to have to reinvent himself. And he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree with you. I actually think that, I mean, he can't really be gangster after this.
No, he can't be gangster, but who says he has to? You know?
Yeah.
He can definitely reinvent himself. I've seen him do it a million times. He's like a
Yeah, I
culture
mean,
vulture. Like, he can adapt to anything.
yeah, yeah. In 2019, and I've said this before. I met him very briefly. I met him in a strip club in L.A. We just
Uh-huh.
happened to be kind of in the same section, so I went over there. I introduced myself. They had me talk to him for a second. I talked to Shotti for a second, exchanged numbers. Um, but I could tell from his energy, when he saw me, he was like, "You see, I'm in L.A., right, blood? You see, I'm in L.A." And I instantly realized, okay, nobody is manipulating this kid. Nobody's pulling the strings and
No.
making him
If
do
anything,
anything.
I kind of feel mad. Like, really, I kind of feel really sad because I feel like, in a way, these grown men were manipulated by this little rainbow head kid. They was manipulated by money. They was manipulated by a lifestyle that they were now a part of just by being with him. You know, it's just like you said, money and fame will make people do a lot of things. And he had
Yeah,
both. He had both. They were both
yeah,
accessible to him.
yeah. I mean, that's actually. I mean, when you say it out loud like that, it almost seemed like they were manipulated by him.
I see it because I was manipulated. He's a narcissist. I'm telling you that now. Like, he's very smart. Like, I give him that. If I can give Danny credit for anything, his brain works in an evil way, but it's smart. It benefits him. And he's very ambitious. Very ambitious. I've always said he's always been ambitious. But the way that, oh, when he's in court, I'm just a 22-year-old kid. You're not a kid. All right? You stop being a kid when you start doing adult things. Okay? I don't want to hear that from anybody. That's it, he works the media. He's great. He's cut out for this business, and not he's not gonna have the same image, and a lot of people aren't gonna fuck with him. But he's used to that already. You know, it's not gonna affect him in a negative way. That's why he just sees it like he doesn't care.
Yeah. I mean, I actually looked through the transcript of his guilty plea, and it was very interesting the way it was even set up because it was like, it talked about his stepfather getting killed and how he went to therapy and how he got on antidepressants medication and how it was very much set up for him to look like a victim
Yes.
in this whole thing. And the court is actually saying this, and I'm reading this going like, wow, this is kind of crazy. And then when you talk about how everyone was manipulated by him,
Because
I
nobody
mean,
knows.
yeah. And ultimately what's going to happen, what it looks like is that he's going to walk away while the rest of them are going to end up doing 20, 30 years.
Or for stuff that
So,
they were probably participating or doing because he told them to. Like, that's just what it is. Um, it just do what you gotta do. Fuck it. If you want to save your own ass, if you feel like that's the route you want to go, then do it. But don't. The thing that bothers me when I see him doing it is when he wants to mention my daughter, like, oh, when I have his lawyers make statements for him, he wants to come home to his daughter. He has a daughter, blah, blah, blah. Even when we lived together, I could count on my fingers. On one hand, I could count on one hand the amount of time he's actually spent with my daughter. It's just stuff like that. Don't save your own ass, but don't drag my daughter into it. Don't use her as an excuse. Use your mom. Use your mom, like your mom's elderly. You want to get home to your mom. She's ill. Do that, but don't do that with my daughter. Like, that's the thing that bothers me.
well, I mean, this is a hell of a story, and it really is going to go down as just the epitome of trolling and clout
Gone
chasing,
wrong.
gone wrong,
Beyond.
and working up that ladder to the highest level to fall to the lowest levels with everyone around him getting 20, 30, 40 years and telling on people
It's not that low
and
for him. It's
really.
not. I mean, because he can actually be doing that time, but he's not. That's slow. If he would have to actually do that time. But I
Yeah.
don't, I don't see that as being low. I I feel like even where he's at, he's being well taken care of. I felt, in a sense, he's in a daycare. It's just like he's very well taken care of.
Well, Sara Molina, I appreciate you coming in
Thank you.
and telling your story. I think it's an incredible story, and you
Thank
play
you
a
so
very
much.
important role in this story. I hope that ultimately you and your daughter end up being okay. Um, at the end of the day, he does have a legal income stream from his music and so forth, which your daughter has a share of legally. So, I really hope that you end up pursuing whatever means you have to in order to make sure that your daughter is okay financially, because at the end of the day, a person should not be living, making millions of dollars while their kids are living in the hood. I've always believed that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I definitely appreciate you telling the story, and with everything you've been through, you seem okay right now.
Thank you. Trying to be.
It's one day at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
One day at a time. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. Peace.